Now we'll finish up the right arm. We want to start bringing our attention more to the front, back, and top view as well, because we want to make sure we have a nice flow out of our arm as it's moving down to swing back and forth. So for one, let's go to frame 332 and notice when we scrub through past that, watch the movement we get. The arm is snapping downward on frame 332 and we're not getting, or 333, and we're not getting a nice flow at all. So we need to fix that. What we can do is go to our scapula control, our right scapula control. Let's select that. And on 332, we'll start with our adjustments by fixing that up a bit. So we can bring it down some in the Z. Okay, and bring it back in the Y a little. Keeping in mind the direction that the arm's going, and it's moving, starting to move downward, more away from the bar. So here's the movement we're getting now from the scapula. And with those small tweaks made, we can now do some more major fixes with the arm. So for one, we can bring it up in the Z. Let's do that. Closer into the bar. And go into more of a top view like that and adjust it in the X so that the elbows point a little bit more out towards the character's front, because we're going to want a nice smooth blend. So we want to keep that in mind. And notice we're getting that now. Great. And we could even make it a slight adjustment with the rotate Y, bringing that back a little bit too on the same frame, frame 333, to again get a nicer flow. Alright, awesome. Now we can go into more of a front view, and what we need to focus on now is having the arm again flow a little bit nicer than it is. If we go to about 337, notice how the arm is positioned when it should actually be closer into the body. So to fix this, we'll go to frame 337 and we'll start adjusting the rotate Z, bringing that in a little bit more to the body as it should be, and also the rotate X like that. Okay, and then again we want to keep in mind the flow of the arm. So it's looking better, but we can make another adjustment, because it should still be, even by frame 335, should still be a little bit closer into the body. So let's make another adjustment. We'll bring it in some, and also fix the rotate X, keeping in mind the flow of the arm. Alright, notice that's much better. Go ahead and back up the camera and check it out. Awesome, we're getting a nice smooth fall of the arm now. Great, and it'd be a good idea now to go and check out our graph editor to see if we need to make any adjustments. So we'll go there, go to our perspective graph view, and we can see that for our rotate Z, for example, we can do some fixes here. So let's work on that. Adjusting our F curve so we get a smoother blend, and also our rotate X, we'll need to fix that too. So let's do that. Okay, awesome. And the rotate Y is fine. So with these adjustments made, it'd be a good idea to do a play blast now. So let's hide our NURBS curves and render one off. Here it is. Great, so we're getting some nice fluid motion out of the fall of our arm, but we just don't want to check it out in one view. Let's check it out in the back view as well. So again, we'll find a nice view. From here will be fine, and render another one off. Here it is. Alright, great. So it's looking pretty good. We're getting some nice motion now. So we can close this out and continue working on adjusting the arm. What we can do now is actually give it some follow through in the rotate X as it should have. Okay, so for this, as the arm is going back and moving forward, let's see, let's go to about frame 346 and rotate the arm so that the elbow is pointing outward away from the body. So as the arm's coming up, it's going to do that. And then as it starts coming back down, on about frame 358, we'll have the elbow rotate closer into the body, not as much, like that. and outward on about frame 370. So we'll just make a small fix where the elbow is now pointed outward. And as it comes in on 380, we'll bring it a little bit inward towards the body for the follow through. Now let's see how our motion's looking. Let's do another play blast. Hide our NURBS curves and render a play blast. Here it is. Alright, great. So we're getting some nice motion now from the Rotate X follow through. And we're just about done with animating the arm. Let's go ahead and close out this play blast. And for our last adjustment for the arm, we'll just go ahead and animate the scapula. And as for the wrist, we'll go ahead and do that a little bit later. But for right now, we just want to focus on finishing up this arm. So to finish it off, we'll just adjust the scapula, and we'll have its poses on the same frames as the swing of the arm. Okay, as it should move with the rest of the arm. So for our first fix, we'll go to frame 341, and we'll just rotate the scapula back, since it should be moving back here as the arm's moving back. And then as the arm's going forward, we'll need to bring the scapula forward on 354, but we could just take this key on 356 and just use it. So we'll go to frame 354 and now bring the scapula a little bit more forward. Alright, great. It's going forward, and now it needs to go back. So on frame 367, we'll just have it rotate back a little bit more, and then forward on 380. Great. So with that done, we can now hide our NURBS curves and render off another play blast. So again, we'll find a nice view so we can see the arm in some good detail and start a render off. Here's a play blast. Great. So we're getting some nice fluidity out of the arm. Okay, but let's check it out in one more view. Let's try a top view. Let's render it out from the top. So we'll find a nice view from the top to render play blast off from. How about right here? Here it is. Excellent. So with these things done, with these fixes made, that completes this lesson, and it also completes our right arm. In the next lesson, we'll work on finishing up the right wrist.